Hey folks, Walmer Sheppel here, president of the Florida Real Estate Investors Association, bringing you another edition of The Fan, the FLREIA Action News. And what's going on? Well, we got a lot of news, and let's see what's going on. The Wall Street Journal is reporting a few things here. First, recovery slow for Fed. That's right, the Fed is saying it's still, the economic recovery is still a bit slow, so they're going to keep rates low, especially amongst the banks. How they lend money to each other overnight, that rate is going to stay extremely low. They're attributing the slowdown to high unemployment, modest income growth, lower housing wealth, and tight credit, saying the banks are still being a little bit tight on the money. Yes, they are. And also, get this, they're also saying that folks are paying off debts and saving money, which is not stimulating the economy. Might not be a bad idea to get rid of some of that debt they've got. All right, Pink Mansion finally sells after 15 years on the market. Get this. This is in Atlanta. It's a 32,000 square foot home. It's got an 18-hole golf course, amphitheater, and a wedding chapel. All right, the couple, it took them 4 years to build, and then they separated shortly after the completion of the home. Well, it's been on the market since. I think the highest price they had it asking was about $40 million. They finally dropped to about $25 million, and it sold for about $10.5 million. It's undisclosed what the sales price went for, but isn't it public record? I think we can find out. Anyway, so they're happy to see it off the market, and the new buyer is going to demolish the home. So much for that. All right, and then Wall Street and the government at odds over a refi boon. Well, Wall Street believes that if Fannie and Freddie would loosen some of their standards, it would promote refis. And they believe that the people refining would get a lower payment and then put that money back into the economy. All right? Well, the government says, no, we don't think so. It's the same relaxed standards that we had that got us into this mess, so we're not going to do that. So it doesn't look like it's going to happen. All right, and unemployment rates, obviously still at the 9.5% rate. Looks like some economists are expecting it to climb at 9.6%. 45% of unemployed have been out of work for 6 months or more. Some of them are just depressed. They say, they've given up hope. It's like, I can't find a job. The government, part of this unemployment rate increasing, the government let go of 143,000 temporary census workers, that they had claimed, oh, look, our unemployment is not so bad, it's improving. They hired most of the people. Well, now they just let go of 143,000. But the private sector, good news, is adding at an average of 90,000 jobs per month so far this year, but not nearly enough to cover the 8 million lost jobs that have happened since the recession. My take on this is, hey, let's get small business back and running. These are the folks that are going to save the economy. I'm talking to representatives out there and saying, hey, find a way to clear the obstacles for small business, because these are the guys that are going to get us out of this economic slump. They're going to create jobs, and when people got jobs, they'll go out and buy homes, and then you got everything else in place. All right. The Daily Business Review, multi-million-dollar condo sales skyrocketing in South Florida. Now, we've heard the condo market is hurting, but the multi-million-dollar one, not in the same situation. Sales of $1 million plus condos up 85% in the second quarter of this year over the second quarter of last year. Just 5 buyers alone paid prices between $8.7 and $15 million for total sales of $52.7 million for these 5 condos. So these guys aren't hurting. All right, and guess who's back asking for money? Fannie and Freddie. That's right, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are asking for more money. Freddie is asking for another $1.8 billion in aid. Fannie's asking for another $1.5 billion. Freddie just had a loss of $6 billion in the April through June period. They've got $118 billion in bad loans at the end of June, and they also own 62,000 foreclosed homes. Whew, that's pretty bad. Fannie had a $3.13 billion loss for, I guess, the same period. So they need money. Here we are, bailing them out some more. All right, the Palm Beach Post is reporting 3 foreclosure mills investigation by the State Attorney's General Office. If you remember last week and the previous weeks, we've talked about some of these guys. Now the State Attorney's General Office is getting involved, and they're going after the law offices of Marshall C. Watson in Fort Lauderdale, Shapiro and Fishman out of Boca, and David Stern's office in Plantation. All of these guys are accused of falsifying documents to speed up the process of foreclosures. Some of these guys are allegations are saying that they're taking advantage of the situation that a lot of homeowners aren't going to the courthouse to fight it. So they figured, who's going to know? So that's what they believe is happening. So that's that. South Florida home prices suffered the worst decline of 25 largest metropolitan areas. These are the second quarter numbers. The median price of a tri-county area are down 7% from the beginning of the year, and we're down 52% from the 2006 peak. So, ouch. But I think if you look at the long term, we're still not doing so bad. I think we're still climbing. If we might have a bit of a dip, but they want to paint this picture like, oh my gosh, it's just declining. But I think we're back to where we need to be. Have we hit bottom yet? Some people say yes, some people say no. We'll see. It looks like we have potential. The economists are saying there's a potential for further declines for the rest of the year here in South Florida. For the rest of the country, they think things are going to pick up. All right, now Chron.com, that's CHRON.com, is reporting that nation's flood insurance is underwater. Get this, to the tune of $18 billion in the red. The National Flood Insurance Program has borrowed $18 billion from the Department of the Treasury at a rate of about $200 million a year since early 1970s. But anyway, what's the problem? The problem is repetitive losses. Get this, 1% of properties account to 25 to 30% of claims. Here's a good example. There's one home that was worth about $114,480 currently. All right, from the years of 1977 to 1995, they have received $806,000 plus for flood loss. How about that? Yeah. Texas is the biggest recipient of these, and guess what? Legislators are at odds of its future. Now, recently we reported that time had lapsed. They had forgotten to vote on extending it. Well, they did extend it, but it did cause a few closings to be delayed, and some didn't happen because flood insurance wasn't available. So, interesting. All right, so what's happening at the FLREIA? Quick news here, 32S Realty, an auction that we had going on. This house, a 3-1 in Fort Pierce, it went for $9,750. How about that for a deal, huh? All right, so what do we have coming up? Expect Success webinar on August 11th at 9 p.m. Let's Make a Deal workshop with Sharon on Saturday, August 14th. Make sure you register for that. Our monthly meeting, we have a real estate panel of experts, August 19th. That's Thursday, August 19th. Don't forget the Guys Property webinar in the morning. And then we have another webinar with Sherry Watson of The Power of Grant Money, and that is on August 25th at 9 p.m. And then she'll be talking about her boot camp, her 3-day boot camp that's coming up in September, which many of you are going to. I think even Sharon's going to that one. So make sure you attend that. And then our ticker tape contest winner, if you're watching the little ticker tape here on the bottom, we have a keyword in there, and Nancy Williams. You did it again. You won last week's challenge. All right. And speaking of challenges, our nonprofit Landmark Community Services, we just got in under the wire for the Pepsi Challenge. So voting will begin on September 1st. So we'll be asking you guys to please vote for us to help us get that $50,000 grant to launch our Community Resource Center. And that's you can find out more information at landmarkcommunityservices.org, and you should see it on the ticker tape. That's landmarkcommunityservices.org. Get on our Facebook page and help us. That's all we need is you to vote. And we do have a donation button if you want to donate whatever you want. Just do that as well. All right. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and don't forget our blog at FLREIAblog.com. Oh, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. And this is Juan Restrepo signing off. God bless.
Every second counts on the clock that's ticking. Gotta live.